What's up guys, Chris Flores here, Next Generation Flow Fitness, and today what we're going to do is talk about the Vibro roller. I've had a couple people ask me, how I like it, do I recommend it, and all these questions about it. We've been using it here for about a week now almost, and I would say what I like it for mostly is more spot treatments. So I'll have someone find like a trigger point that's kind of an area that's tender, and then we'll put the Vibro roller on it. We'll get them going through a range of motion while on there, especially in the calf. So if people have super tight calf muscles, we'll put it on a spot that's really tender, and then we'll have them come up and down, not necessarily rolling up and down too much on it. The one thing I will caution people is when using a Vibro roller, because it's kind of aggressive on certain areas, you don't want to over roll. I think people, because it feels good and it vibrates and all that stuff, people over roll and they'll stay on one spot for way too long. So when you have clients using it, make sure you time them on it, or tell them, we're going to do maybe 10 repetitions on one side and then go find another spot that's tender and 10 repetitions on that side. Don't just let them keep rolling and rolling and rolling on that one spot, because it's almost like think about when you're making meatballs or ground meat and just keep grinding the tissue too much. You can over-roll, overdo it. So you want to make sure when using the Vibro roller that you're cautious with it. If you're working with a group of people and someone needs that spot treatment on something, they can kind of do it on their own now. Instead of you getting in there and doing manual manipulations, you can actually get them, put it on the lats, especially I like doing it. Just sit in the lat, put the vibration on them, go through some range of motion with it, and then move on to the next thing. The other thing we'll do with the Vibro roller is after we do, when they're rolling on it and they do it at one spot, we'll make sure you activate the opposite spot. So if I have someone doing a calf or they do some calf treatment, and we're rolling a calf, we'll have them we'll put bands around their foot and have them do some dorsiflexion to activate the front part. So they'll roll the back, they'll activate the front to get that on board, and then do some glute bridges and get the glutes working too. So you want to make sure if you're doing one spot and rolling on one spot, you're activating something else that's probably causing that tightness in the first place. So you want to make sure you're hitting all different angles and not just vibrating like crazy and rolling on it because it feels good. But as far as my recommendation for it, if you use it properly, I think it's a great tool, but it could be, I guess, in the wrong hands. In the wrong hands, it could be dangerous. So just make sure when you're rolling, time limit on it, don't over roll. I think it's a great tool. It could be when used properly, but it could be easily used the wrong way. So make sure if you're going to use it with your clients, set a time limit on it, maybe set a couple of repetitions you're going to be doing on a certain trigger point or a certain tender spot, and I think it should be great. Chris Flores, Next Generation Flow Fitness. See you next time.